Today we will take a look at the best smartphone under $500 for this year. If you want to find more information, check out links down below. 5. TCL20S. The TCL20S is an impressive budget phone for its price, with a crisp Full HD Plus display, decent camera suite, big 5000 mAh battery, and other features that are more in line with a mid-range handset. While nothing particularly stands out about the phone, it isn't lacking in any category either, making it a strong all-rounder. The TCL20S's design has been refined over its predecessors, and it looks more like a mid-range phone than a budget device. At 199 grams, it's not light, but plenty of flagship phones are heavier. It's on the larger end of the smartphone spectrum with a 6.67-inch display, which has noticeable but not excessively large bezels. The rear cover is plastic, and feels plastic, but has a matte finish for a classier look. The camera block at the top left of the rear is long and thin, with 4 lenses aligned vertically. It's the only feature on the rear of the phone besides a TCL logo at the bottom left. Sandwiched between the front and back casings, the phone's plastic side rim has a chromed appearance for a more refined look. 4. OnePlus Nord N10 5G. The N10 sports a refined design that's both sleek and functional. At 6.4 by 2.9 by 0.4 inches HWD and 6.7 ounces, it's a big phone, but it doesn't feel like one. Slight differences in its measurements and weight make it more comfortable to hold than the G Power. On the front of the phone you'll find a bezel-less 6.5-inch hole punch display. The 2400 by -1080 pixel 90Hz LCD is punchy with excellent color accuracy for the price, and is easy to see in direct sunlight. The rectangular rear camera bump, in the top left corner, juts out just enough to give the phone a little wobble when it's sitting on a desk. You'll also find a fingerprint sensor back there that's quick and accurate. On the back of the N10 you'll find a quad camera stack. The 64 megapixels primary lens has an f1.8 aperture. There's also an 8 megapixels ultra-wide sensor with an f2.3 aperture and 2 megapixels depth and macro sensors with f2.4 apertures. 3. Samsung Galaxy A52 5G. The Galaxy A52 5G impresses with its 120Hz display and 64 megapixels camera, but it's not quite the best mid-range phone. Samsung has given its new batch of mid-range Galaxy A phones, which include the A32, A52, A52 5G and A72, another colorful, playful design. I don't think it looks quite as stylish as the Galaxy S21 series, but there is still a lot I like about it. The Galaxy A52 5G features a plastic back, but at least it doesn't feel cheap, thanks to a nice semi-matte texture that keeps the fingerprints at bay. From the front, the A52 5G looks like all modern Samsung phones, with its central punch hole camera. The top and bottom bezels are a little thicker than the average phone, but otherwise the Galaxy A52 5G looks just as smart as a Galaxy S21. The Galaxy A52 5G's display is one of its strongest features. You get a bright and colorful 6.5-inch screen with a smooth 120Hz refresh rate, a rare feature in a phone that doesn't carry a flagship's lofty price. The downside with the Galaxy A52's display is that the refresh rate is static, with options for 120Hz or 60Hz only. A dynamic system, like what you get with the S21 family, means a phone can save battery life while offering its max refresh rate when it's needed. 2. Google Pixel 5a. If you're looking for the best sub-$500 Android phone, the Pixel 5a is your best bet. Google is pretty proud of the Pixel 5a's display, calling it the biggest one ever on a bezel-less Pixel, which covers the Pixel 4a, 4a 5G, and 5. At 6.34 inches, the Full HD OLED screen on the Pixel 5a is vibrant and bright. It's not the most impressive panel we've ever seen, but it's very good all the same, especially at this price. One thing I really appreciate is how easily I can see what's on the display when I'm out in direct sunlight. In its default color profile, the Pixel 5a managed to reproduce 119.3% of the sRGB and 84.5% of the DCI-P3 color gamuts. The biggest highlight with the Pixel 5a this year is the addition of the 16 megapixels, 117-degree ultrawide camera, which joins the primary 12.2 megapixels shooter. Last year's Pixel 4a only had the single 12.2 megapixels camera. Up front, the Pixel 5a's 8 megapixels selfie cam sits nestled in the top left corner of the display in a hole punch cutout. The Pixel 5a sports the biggest battery we had seen in a Google Pixel, though the Pixel 6 Pro now tops that. Nevertheless, the Pixel 5a's 4680 mAh power pack helps it turn in one of the better times we've seen from a Pixel phone on our battery test. That's not a high bar to clear, though, as Pixels tend to falter on our test involving web surfing over a cellular connection. 1. Apple iPhone SE 2020. Apple's iPhone SE 2020 second generation strikes the right balance of camera, build quality, speed, battery life, software, and longevity for most people. Even though it's over a year old now, it should still give you an excellent return on investment. The iPhone SE follows a very tried and true formula. It has the same body and 4.7-inch LCD screen that Apple has been using since the iPhone 6. That puts the display on the smaller end of screen sizes today, which also means the phone's bezels are bigger than anything else sold on the market. Battery life is good but not best in class. It should last about a day. Luckily, this iPhone supports wireless charging, which is still uncommon at this price point. And because it has the exact same shape as the iPhone 6, 6S, 7, and 8, there is a huge ecosystem of chargers and cases for it. Unlike many inexpensive Android phones, finding compatible accessories for the iPhone SE will be a breeze. The difference between a 2-year-old iPhone processor and a brand new one in use. But why that processor really matters, though, is overall longevity. Apple consistently supports its phones for 4 or more years with software updates. So Apple's choice of a fast processor means, in a few years, the iPhone SE will still feel snappy and be supported with iOS updates. Battery life is good but not best in class. It should last about a day. Luckily, this iPhone supports wireless charging, which is still uncommon at this price point. And because it has the exact same shape as the iPhone 6, 6S, 7, and 8, there is a huge ecosystem of chargers and cases for it. Unlike many inexpensive Android phones, finding compatible accessories for the iPhone SE will be a breeze.